boyfriends. Woo. It's the boyfriends.
Where's the midget monkey we had in the back?
I love the midget monkey.
I think it's time for the boyfriends.
The beat
Whoa! Welcome, everybody, to the Boyfriends Podcast. My name is Matt Lopes. I'm here with Corey B. and Marcus Monroe, and we have one hell of a show for you today.
One hell of a show.
Anybody who wants to introduce our guest?
Sorry that you've already turned off the podcast.
He is a
your ears are
comedian, a
bleeding.
mathematician,
Hold on.
funny.
I got a song for him. I made a song for him.
A mathematician?
A mathematician.
Fire.
I went to college in Lakeland. We had mathematicians.
He's sharp with a mic like a joke-loving sword. Brains and good looks, that's Matthew Broussard. Math nerd turned comic. He's clever and hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Matthew Broussard on the podcast.
Wait for it. Here it comes. You gotta wait. There's a build up. There.
I told you, it's a little too long.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's fucking
That's
so
very
I love
nice.
when the beat drops.
That's very
That's
nice.
so
You
fire.
like when the beat drops?
I like when the beat drops.
That's so fire.
like
Dude, you ever had a song like that yet?
No, I've never had a song written about
There
me.
you go. You're welcome.
You never had a song written about you?
No.
I
Boyfriends.
asked ChatGPT to write a jingle for you.
Uh-huh.
They didn't even say, "Hey, comedian Matthew Broussard." I already knew who you were.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the lyrics they came up
Huh.
with, and then I put that into an AI generated beat in Songmaker, and it came up with that song.
So there's no vocalist
Real
on that.
person.
That's all. Wow.
That's all.
That's disturbing.
That is crazy.
Our intro
So,
song, same thing.
Still, no one has written a song for me. I said no one has before, and technically, no one ever
Be
has.
Technically,
careful,
can
because
we,
one day they will be considered someone.
Yeah.
And we'll have this clip to say that you don't like them. So
How robophobic.
I love the legs, though. By the way, I
You know
know
what?
you didn't probably want attention on them because you were thinking maybe you
Yeah.
weren't gonna, but I love that it's leg day.
It's
you
yeah.
have sweet legs.
I like wearing shorts, man.
Do you?
I like it. I like
Are
it.
you a short guy?
No.
You like knee level?
No, and I got to do the high socks too.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, my calves look very puny. They look much stronger
That's
when
the
you wear high
problem with me.
socks.
I got bad wrists and I got bad ankles. I'm very skinny in both places.
I have short calves, so it's just a lot of tendon.
Yeah.
And it makes it look. If I pull off my socks, watch.
Show us your dogs, dude. Pull the dogs out.
If I put,
Dude, he pulled the dogs out.
well, no, just watch the.
Let's see. Stand up, stand up.
Look at that. Look how
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
That looks so freaky skinny.
Yeah.
I mean, and then this looks now I have like a strong calf.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's why they.
That's so interesting.
How do I? Okay.
Here, stand on the couch.
Come on,
stand on
man.
the couch. Just stand on the couch. Yeah.
Look at the difference.
Look at
Wow.
those. Whoa.
This side.
You're right, dude.
Ew, yeah.
That's a man's like the other one's like,
I'm like, it's a push-up bra for your calf.
Yeah, it really
Without the
is.
sock, that leg looks like it's like one of the zombies from I Am Legend.
Yeah. Quickly.
Yeah, I'm not fighting the guy with the right leg. The
Yeah.
left leg, I'm fucking
Dude,
kicking his
Matt,
ass.
quickly get down and put your sock on. This is disgusting.
Dude, hide your ankles.
What the fuck? Put that other sock on, baby.
I only learned recently that socks are a cheat code for people with skinny, puny
no idea.
calves.
I bought a watch. I wanted a nice watch, and then I put on the man's watch, and it looked so big on my wrist. So I had to buy the woman's watch. I have like a woman's Rolex. It's just it's a lady one.
Just wear like the Tiffany's gloves all the time.
The tall socks look really good on you. Like now, have you always been a tall socks guy
No,
though?
it's a recent. I'm a
Matt,
recent
hit him with
convert.
the hard.
I have to.
You're
I
asking
have
the
to.
questions no podcast will have the guts to ask.
He actually researched this already. That's one of the questions he wrote. I'm 36, so born in 1988, and like
Same,
high
brother.
socks were kind of lame.
Yeah.
When we were in
It
like
was
middle
always
school, high
lame.
school.
If you didn't have
It
the
was-
no-show socks, you were gay.
No, exactly. No show
Yeah.
was like the only way to go. How
Yeah.
dare like it was like. If you could see people's socks,
Yeah.
if you could see like an inch of sock, that was the ugliest looking
You got
thing.
picked on.
Yeah, you're right
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, why are your socks showing? What, you would mow the lawn, Dad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Now
was
it's like
very-
the fucking cool shit. Yeah.
It was like nerdy 80s shit. It was like the only kid who wore high socks was like the kid who also like tucked in his shirt into
Yeah,
his gym
yeah,
shorts
yeah, yeah.
and
And now
had an
that's
inhaler.
like the cool
Yeah.
side. It's so
he was the guy
funny.
who he was the guy who peed with his pants all the way down.
I know
It
his
was
name
that
was
one-
Randy. I got it in my head right now. It was
Yeah.
Randy. Somehow this guy still had a hog though. Had a hog for a dick.
Where were we? We were in Phoenix. We're going to the bathroom, and after like
We just landed.
a long 5-hour flight, going to the bathroom. There's a guy there, a grown man, maybe 40, 50 years old, pants down to his ankles, peeing. So I'm like, yo, we had a video guy with us. I was like, yo, Ben, film this. And I went down, I dropped my pants too.
Next to him.
Two ass out
bare
guys.
asses.
Was there a photo or was that a video?
It's a video.
I wish we had it.
What a horrible violation of civil liberty.
Yeah. I was gonna put it in
boundaries.
I was gonna put it in the montage, and I was like, I don't think you can do that.
No, I don't think you can show
that's
someone.
allowed.
It'll go on the Patreon eventually. But my question is,
Oh God.
he knows his ass is exposed. What are you
He
doing?
was hoping you'd do that.
Oh, you think so?
He probably wanted you to catch his ass.
He didn't seem like he.
I think that might be a little tism, though. I think first
yeah,
of all,
that's what I'm
first of all, I think
thinking.
it's kind of fucked up. You're fucking yucking his yum. That's his yum, dude.
Yeah.
And so what if a kid walks in and sees his ass and balls? So what? That kid shouldn't have walked in that bathroom.
If you're a normal person, you go into if you know you have to take your pants off all that way, you go into a stall.
Stall.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. He was the only one in the bathroom until me and Ben walked in.
So how do you piss in the bathroom?
Do people pull their pants all the way down to poop? Because have you ever seen girls pee and they actually just pull it to
Yeah.
their knees?
Yes.
We could technically not pull our pants all the way down.
That's weird though, because it's hard. Because we all stand up to wipe our ass. I don't know how
Yeah.
you wipe your
No, I
ass.
sit.
Oh,
It's
you
so
do?
weird you would stand. It
No,
creates
that's
such more of a
Everyone
mess.
all three of us stand up and wipe our
No,
ass.
my brother's a stander too, and I learned that it's a split. But there's a chance of making a mess if you stand up.
Yeah,
No,
for some,
no.
I don't know, because I think
we're
I.
not drippy like that.
How are you talking?
No, I do
But it
understand what he's
smears
saying.
it
'cause
together.
I
It
do
closes
get,
No, it
the
doesn't.
gas
No, it
crack.
does.
close.
Listen,
It
you're talking to a
doesn't-
guy that knows math really well. He
I
knows
don't
symmetry
need
shit.
those common sense prevails
Yeah.
over rigorous mathematics. If your butt cheeks go back together, then there's a chance that the poop will smear on
The
them.
butt cheeks are the same.
No.
No.
Okay, so when you're
Yes,
sitting
they
down,
are.
when you're sitting down right now, your butt cheeks are more spread apart than usual.
No.
Yes.
No, I
What
stand
the
up.
fuck? What do you mean?
The butt's not moving much.
Oh, so you stay. See, if you stay like this.
If the hip stays hinged,
stay like-
then
but
yes.
if you
It's when the
come
hip's
up-
unhinged.
but
You
see-
stay.
no. See what
You
I do?
stay hinged, and then you put foot on seat.
Whoa. That's
My question is, you're supposed to check out
You
your
made
stool.
that up.
No,
You're
dude,
supposed
the
to look
foot
at your
on seat trick.
Foot on seat is not something you do.
You don't do
He
foot on
probably does
seat.
that. He
You
probably
can't
does
do
that.
foot on
You don't-
seat.
you
I
don't
put
do-
You
don't-
can't do foot on
you don't
seat,
do-
but he can do foot on seat.
Yeah, I can do FOS. You can't do FOS.
You
But
check
don't-
your stool?
I check my stool at least once a week.
Wait, what do
don't
you
check
mean?
your-
What are you looking
What do
for?
you mean? You
Bowel
check
movement.
it. You touch it.
Okay, colon cancer is a very serious thing.
touch your
No, I don't
poop?
check I check the shape of it. I check what's the scale
Everyone
called?
does. Every time you
stool.
look.
No, not sitters. Sitters, you can't fucking really check your stool if your dick's in
Well,
the
I
way.
look every time.
Yeah,
I
because
wanna
we're standers. But if you're
Well,
a
you
sitter,
can also wipe and then stand.
no,
and
because
then
you're throwing the
flush.
toilet paper on top
Yeah,
of your
but
poop.
you could still see it.
How?
How much?
I use way too much toilet paper.
Yeah, I guess we're learning
No,
that.
I'm like 3 or 4 wipes. I also go like 2 or 3 squares. That's it.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
wow.
Yo, I'd hate to smell
You're
your
still in a
numbers.
roll from 1998, huh?
You only use that much.
3 squares, and then I fold. I don't think you need the full square. You can just go the width.
What ply? How much ply are we
Double
talking?
ply,
Oh,
but like
yeah, who's
the
using
actual
single
thing
ply?
ends up being that big, and if you do it right with just 2 fingers, you really don't need that much.
What the
I think
fuck?
Your side of your neck might be bleeding.
Oh yeah, probably.
Well, do you have a napkin or something, Jay?
It's gonna keep bleeding. I talked about this on Jordan's podcast. I have a blood mole.
What?
Ooh.
I have 2 now. This
What's
one
a
started
blood
doing
mole?
that. It's there's a name for it. Oh God.
got it.
It just bleeds and bleeds and bleeds. The other side-
Wait, is this a blood mole?
Wait.
no, it's red. If you hit it with when I'm shaving, if I hit it at all, yeah.
I think that's
See, I
called
don't
a
need that
blue-
much.
Yeah, see? That's not enough for me. If I,
That's gonna last him a week, Jay.
So honestly, this I
I
need
must
a
be
lot
eating
more.
something
than,
wrong because I'm too greasy apparently because that couldn't do 4 squares. That's nuts. 4 squares and being done. That's
4
crazy.
squares is how
If
I
you aim well. I also have really solid stools. I eat very healthy.
What do you
I'm
eat?
not-
What's your diet?
a lot of fiber.
Yeah.
A lot of
mucil.
spinach,
Celery.
fruit, nuts. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of like processed meats. I can't. I have acid reflux, so like greasy, fatty, spicy foods. I just don't.
But
eat
how do
them.
you say no to it so good?
Because I know the pain that will result.
Yeah, you're smart. You're a
But
smart guy.
I've had reflux since I was 4 years old. Like it's not even like a conscious choice. I know what comes of it.
That's crazy because
So I
That's
have
insane.
I had
reflexive
surgery.
repulsion to it.
I had surgery on my adenoids when I was 10, and
What's
the
that?
doctor, my adenoids are just a gland like your tonsils that kind of filter sicknesses, but sometimes they can make kids sicker if they're overreactive. So they took mine out, and then when I woke up, they told my mom this kid's got acid reflux of a 40-year-old. Like they told me that I had horrible acid reflux at that age, at a young age, which is crazy to have like a juvenile acid reflux. But that's wild. I got to stop eating meat and shit then. Fuck.
Not meat, just you'll know what. Where is it? Where?
It's like below your ear.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
For me, I kind of like how the poop feels when it's hard to come out.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a good
I
time.
like pushing it.
Yeah.
Oh, I took muscle relaxers for a little while after some back problem, and those it comes out so hard that it hurts. It's like really, really painful. Have you ever had that where you're like,
Yeah,
what is?
yeah.
You have to like. It's like you have to go halfway through and like refocus.
Like, it's kind
because
of
you have
nice.
to push it out. 'cause it's
Sometimes
not
I have to
Really
like
cool.
take off some of my clothes too. I get so hot sometimes when it's like when I'm really working.
Do you
it.
think pooping feels good?
Sometimes it can,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what I had a gay guy tell me one time that's how it feels to have butt sex.
Oh, I would
And
bet.
he was like kind of trying to coerce me into thinking it was a good idea. And he was like, "Do you like taking poops?" And I was like, "Sometimes." He goes, "Well, that's what it feels like." And I was like, "I don't know."
I don't know if that's true,
I
but
don't know if you're trying
good
to-
for him. If that's what every day is like sex for him, then
Yeah.
he must be like, oh yeah, I get to poop, yay! All right.
I can't wait to have this bowel
You
movement.
light some candles, make it real nice.
his boyfriend's like, "Go fuck yourself." And he's like, "I'm about to."
He's like, I think I'm gonna poop today. Maybe I'll draw a bath first.
He just gets the candles
light a
going for a
candle.
poop.
Not for scent purposes, but for vibes.
There's a sock on the bathroom door. You're like, oh, he's pooping.
Do you see? Do you watch White Lotus?
Yes.
Do you see that the girl that's with the guy talk, the security guard? She's in like a K-pop band. She's like in a Korean girl band
Makes sense. Is
called
she in Pink?
Blackpink.
Blackpink.
But
Yeah.
she got caught recently. That her and her little girl band got caught doing karaoke and singing songs with the N-word in them, but they were just saying the N-word.
Oh.
And like, there's a whole big controversy with them saying it. And I was talking to someone earlier about like, is that racist that she did it? And I don't think.
Why wouldn't it be if like?
I-
Is it because she's not in America? Is that what you're saying?
International court laws don't apply. Yeah.
I don't know if she thinks of it as. I think
Because
it's got to
it was in
be.
a song?
I think it's only racist if you have intent or ill will, or you are doing something derogatory, or you mean it in a
But
derogatory way.
isn't saying
that
the
holds
word
up.
enough just derogatory?
I don't think they know. I don't think they have that knowledge there. I don't know if they
well,
have the knowledge.
if they're
We'll get to
unknowingly just saying it and don't know the power that the word has, then they don't know.
But it's in a song, so she's not just saying it outright. Like Morgan Wallen got away with it, and everything's fine with
He
him.
didn't
What
get
was the
away with it. He
context
got-
of his N-word, Morgan Wallen?
He called his friend. He
It
said,
was
"What's
a
up?"
drunken bender. It was like 2 a.m. He was saying it to his buddy. He was like, all right, I'll see you later.
My Yeah.
And was the guy black?
No.
It's like that Shane Gillis sketch,
Yeah.
the fireman one, where it's like white guys text it to each other. I really want some pancakes N-word. It's so good. I was in Israel in 2011, and it was a group of Americans. And they knew we were American. We were obviously American, and we were walking past some like kids on a hike. They were like 12 or 13, and they were giggling as they started to walk past us. And they go, "Shit, piss, fuck, bitch," and the N-word.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh." The first 4, okay.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah, like, they just think of those as other bad words.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't understand that those aren't in the same
connotation,
category.
exactly.
And we're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Interesting.
because that was so funny to curse in our language around us.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
That's really,
Isn't that interesting?
The history books aren't the same. Our history books and their history books probably aren't
Right.
the same history book.
Same with Canada, by the way, doing comedy in Canada, joking about race in Canada. Even if it's an all-white crowd, they take it better. Whereas if you do,
They love it.
They love it because they don't feel complicit.
Dude, make a
in
joke
the
about an
crimes of
Indian.
America.
Make a joke about an Indian guy there.
Oh, yeah, that's a different
from
thing.
India. They love that shit.
Yeah, but
But
they actually are very racist. There's a context to that. Whereas black people, they don't know black people. It's more of a novelty to them. And when they think of racism as black people, they don't feel like that's part of their history.
They're not their culture,
So
yeah,
even in like Vancouver, like I remember doing a joke in Vancouver. I'm like,
interesting.
oh, that wouldn't do as well in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah.
I remember I went to Finland and I went to Sweden and I learned some like Finnish swears. And one of them was like "vitu perkele," and I would say
that
it.
sounds Finnish.
I would say it all the time. And one time a Finnish guy heard me. He's like, "No, never say that. Never
What
say
was
that."
what was the word? Do you know what the,
Nah, I have no idea what it means.
you don't know what
the
the word
N-word.
means?
I would just say "vitu perkele." It just sounds cool.
Have you ever said the N word in a song?
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Can
I be honest? I have.
remember if
And I'll give you the context of it. I was told.
Matt Soul.
No, because
What
here's
are we
the deal.
doing here? Why
No,
are we
I could-
doxing ourselves?
Oh, it's not because here's the thing. The reason why I did it is different from a lot of reasons people have done it. I used to work on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, and I was an MC of a nightclub, and I'd work there Wednesday through Sunday, every single day from I don't know 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. 2 a.m. And the security guards there, all black, and a lot of times we'd have urban nights, and there was a lot of songs out at that time that just had the N-word in it, like a lot of it. And there was one night the security guards were there, and I guess they were feeling frisky because they were like, "Say it," and the song was on. And my job as the MC is like, I'm piping up the club, and I had a couple shots of Patron in me and a couple Coronas. You know what I mean? I'm feeling fucking great, and they're like, "Say it," and I'm like, "No, you're trying to get me beat up," and they're like, "No, you're our boy. Say it. We want to see what they do." And I was like, "I can't." And I'm getting the more they say it, the more I keep giggling. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right. And so I said it, and can I tell you that every black guy in that club looked at me and was like, "Fuck yeah, do it again." And like they were for it.
You did it twice in a night?
Twice? I did it so many times that night.
Oh, no.
But they were fucking gassed. They were fucking hyping me up, enabling me. Again, I'm drunk. I'm 22 years old. I think I'm part of the crew now. I'm having the best time.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
your
felt like a
buddy's
hero.
like, he's Moroccan.
Yeah. And everyone watching the podcast should know that he is Moroccan.
No, I'm not. I'm Polish and Italian, so I am. But again, that's my content. That's the time I did do it. And do I feel bad when I do it today? Fuck no. But at the time I was young, I was drunk, and they were telling me to.
Yeah.
I did it. And am I proud of it? No. But I'm here to say that if anything ever comes out about me doing that, I did do that, and I'm being honest about it.
Oh, well, that's very nice.
You got to get ahead of these things sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to get. How's that smell?
Bad. My apologies.
I just would say, just don't say it.
No, I think it's good. Yeah. Again, this was
just don't need it. It's just unless you're
It's like saying.
I want to push back on one thing. It's been used against me and endlessly. It's kind of a meme by now of when a white person I bet they say the N-word. I bet they say it with a hard R, and I'm like, yeah. Of course I would say it with a hard R. I'm not going to say it your way. That's doubly offensive. If you're going to take me down for hate speech, I'm not letting you tack on appropriation. I'm going to say it it'd be ruder if not. I'm going to say it my way. Oh my God. I call it Melbourne. I'm not going to go Melbourne because it's like I'm doing a bad imitation of it.
I say no, not ner. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
This is a cover band.
Roll the R.
Oh my God. That's so good.
No.
But right? It'd be so because I have heard comics.
Oh God.
This is a weird thing
it is.
to explain, but I've heard comics who will say it and it doesn't come naturally to them. It's not a thing they say casually, though they may be black and may be qualified to say it. They don't say it in that way. They don't speak in a way that would make the soft A sound. So it sounds like they just switched their pronunciation, like Ibiza. It sounds like they're just changing the pronunciation for just one word. And it's like, just a little bit of R, maybe.
Yeah, like a hint of R. Hint of R.
There's no conviction.
Yeah, unless you're from Boston, it's not going to sound natural, or unless you speak in a way where you naturally drop R's pretty casually.
Yeah, you have a speech impediment.
Not drop R's, remove the R's. And,
Right.
Wow.
Wow. Well,
that's my linguistics lesson.
I don't know.
Okay, Morgan Wallen. Let me get into this.
Yeah, please.
I didn't know his music. I heard that he got in trouble for the N-word. I heard he got in trouble for throwing chairs off a thing. I heard he stormed off of SNL, and I was like, okay, this guy must make pretty good music.
Yeah.
And then I listened to him, like, this is fucking garbage.
Yeah.
It's really standard pop country.
I like the first two albums. I really like.
Okay.
The one, but the first double album, then the one that's like Whiskey Glasses. Have you heard that or Up Down?
I just listened to 2 songs. I'm like, this is really, this doesn't sound like anything new in the genre.
It's not new. It's not anything different. I think it's because he's younger, and there hasn't been really a lot of young country.
He was on The Voice. He got kind of famous from The Voice.
Ugh.
Yeah.
He's,
you know what I mean? I thought it was going to be like a Tyler Childers type, this is a really good new changing the face. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Who are the other ones? Isn't Luke Bryan really good, even from a snob's perspective?
Luke Bryan's great.
This guy's closer to Brad Paisley.
Yeah.
Well, I think
am I wrong? I'm not I don't know much country.
I know, but
I'm not into country either. But I listen.
Oh, you put that shit on all the time. You just said the other day in the car, "Oh, there's new Morgan Wallen."
Yeah, I like listening to Morgan Wallen, but I'm not into country, but I do like his first two albums.
But why?
Is it like Maroon 5, where it's artistically their early stuff was objectively great, and then now the new stuff is
Yeah, because
very.
that's
Now that's what I call pop.
You know what I think it
Because
was?
now that you're not, because you say you're not into country, but you are into that country. So what makes you not into country but into him? Because that's a lot of people. I think that's the problem. Is a lot of people are into Morgan Wallen that aren't into country. But why?
I think I thought his music. I just like. I think when I listened to him the first time, I was in North Dakota for like a month or something, and so I was like in the country, and I like it just felt the vibes were right. You know, he's singing about being out in his pickup truck and the sun and the hometown, the tailgate.
I don't think he does any of that shit.
No, of course not. Just like Bruce Springsteen wasn't like working with his hands in a factory, or you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know that song.
Yeah, but Springsteen was. It was like he was like a novelist.
Yeah,
of course.
You know,
No,
he was like
I
trying
understand.
to. Yeah.
I'm just saying he wasn't like the guy he was portraying.
Sure.
And just like Morgan Wallen, just painting painting pictures of songs, and I just thought it was like the songs. I don't really know the guy.
I think the collab
obviously,
was-
like when he said the N word, I was like not really. I was like mad at him. I was like not pleased with him.
I think it's funny that after he left SNL, he took a picture of a private jet and said, "Get me back to God's country."
Yeah. What is God's country?
First of all, no, give
It's
me back
the lower half of the country.
Get me back. Get me back to the place where I can throw chairs
Teterboro
off roofs.
Airport, apparently.
yeah.
A private airport.
Get me back to where I can throw chairs off roofs and yell the N word. Is what he meant by that.
I'm just saying, I expected better country music from a guy who says the N word.
He got away with it.
Well, he did get in trouble. Like he had to go and talk to Michael Strahan on Good Morning America. He did that, and then he went to
That's not really hard.
that's lame
hitting.
too.
Yeah.
I'm just saying then for 2.5 months. I'm not an apologist, a Morgan Wallen apologist. I don't know him at all. I just like his first 2 albums. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I never bought a ticket. I never bought a ticket to his albums or concerts or anything.
How many albums you got? 3?
I think he has maybe like four.
Oh, okay.
I
So
don't
you
know.
like half of his stuff. It's too much. You're either like 2/3 or a half.
You liked before he said the N word, and then when he said the N word, you started like him anymore.
When you say it like, oh, I like his first 2 albums, as if he has like 6
Like
or
he's
7 out.
he's been doing this for 20
I'm
years.
not sure. I'm not sure how many albums he has out. I don't really know. But I stopped like really following him like 2 or 3 years ago.
What's your music? If you don't like country, what do you like?
Synth pop.
Synth pop?
Yeah.
Like Daft
Robin?
Punk?
I like Robin.
Robin's
We
good.
love Robin.
I like.
Robin.
I don't know
We
her whole
love
thing,
Robin.
but
Yeah,
We only listen to two of her songs.
Yeah,
We know. I like
Top
Rob.
2.
there's a great book called The Song Machine that talks a lot about Robin. But Robin is also the name of Rihanna, and Robin is the reason Rihanna picked the name Rihanna and not a real name Robin.
Oh, really? Holy shit, I didn't know that.
And Rihanna's her middle name. But Robin's awesome. Robin's a great story about how that, like, she was a bit old. She had a pop single blow up. It's 16 years old, and then Dancing on My Own. She was like, I think she was already in her 30s,
Yeah.
and like that
Killed
was
it.
an
I love that.
artistic
Call your
achievement.
girlfriend's like, what? Like,
Oh.
so
Call your
like, come on,
We,
bro.
we did a show together all in Phoenix, and we each had a Robin song as our walk-up.
Yeah. No one in the audience caught on. I don't think. No
I
one
don't think
came
they
up to
would
us.
know. Yeah,
Yeah, but still, it's pretty good.
So synth pop, is that like
Passion
Daft
Pit's
Punk?
my favorite band.
Passion Pit's so good.
Yeah, I
You like
love.
Phoenix?
I've seen him. I like
heard of
Phoenix,
him.
not the same
The
level. I've seen
Knife?
him live. I like the knife.
The Knife.
Churches would probably be up there.
Churches is so good.
Churches I need to see live.
The one
They're-
with the one with the
Church is
V
a
instead of the
DJ,
U.
right?
No, Churches is that.
Churches is a three-person ensemble. It's
Girls?
female
Girls.
vocalists and
Yeah.
two
Yeah, okay, yeah.
synth
Are they
artists.
Irish? Are they from Ireland?
Irish or Scottish?
Irish, Scottish, yeah.
God, I don't
Churches is
know.
So good.
Is that like Echo
So
Smith?
good.
Remember Echo Smith? Was Echo Smith a thing back in the day?
Yeah, I remember Echo Smith. Yeah.
I like New Bon Iver, which is a lot of synth stuff.
I don't know any of that
yeah.
shit.
I don't like his old stuff. That was what it's boring. His new stuff is
I really
very
like
interesting
synth pop
and
too.
adventurous.
It's really
It's
fun.
my favorite.
Yeah.
And I went to that what is it? Is it Just Like Heaven festival in LA, where it was like a day of just these bands, and everyone there was my age.
Oh, that's so good.
Late 30s, early 40s with
Love
disposable
it.
income,
Love
and every
it.
band had a 40-minute set. No one went
best.
1 minute over.
Oh,
there
so
must have
good.
been ridiculous fines because no one went even like a second over their allotted slot.
That's
love
crazy.
that.
It was like Sleigh Bells was there.
It's the most proper concert ever.
Lights. Listen to Lights.
What's the Lights?
Lights is just a Canadian.
No,
singer.
not that I know of. Francis and the Lights.
Francis and the
wasn't there,
Lights?
but I
Oh,
love
okay.
Francis and the
Yeah.
Lights so much. I mean, I like other stuff too, but that's just like weirdly gets me
Do
riled
people
up.
that listen to that music do drugs like EDM?
They
type
used
shit?
to, but now.
Now they can't.
Oh, who's Tegan and Sarah were there?
Oh, cool.
And they were like they were
Everything
so
is
funny.
awesome.
They were
I
like
love that.
they went up and they're just like, yeah, we're like in our 40s and tired. We don't like touring. Thanks for being here. We're not gonna do too much of this She was like, took an edible. I think weed should be legal. It was so fun. I'm like, weirdly, this is a more rebellious thing to say relative to the current culture.
I love that.
What's more popular synth pop? What the most popular?
think he
Synth
What
told
is the
you.
most popular? I mean, Passion Pit's up there. Who's a contemporary to Passion Pit?
Who would I know?
I think the thing that really kicked off the genre was Postal Service.
Oh yeah,
Postal fucking
Service.
love Postal.
And they were
That's what-
way
so
early.
Wait,
They
so
were
that's
01
Owl City.
or 03.
Dude, DC,
Owl City was big.
DC
I love
Sleeps
those.
Alone Tonight?
Yes.
My shit. Such great heights
So-
from
we
You know how many
State.
albums they have?
How many?
One.
That's it, right?
Everything Postal
No, they have
Service
live.
has.
They have a live
sure,
album
but
and
all
a-
the songs you know are from one album,
Yeah.
Take
and they
On
never
Me?
did another one.
Take
But
on me.
Postal
Death
Service
Cab.
also, yeah.
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh, aha is a that's
Take on
old.
Me?
That's
I would
old.
say
80s.
that's old.
Well, 80s
synth pop.
kind of.
I'm talking about new wave.
Yeah,
synth
new wave,
pop.
new wave synth pop.
Well, no,
'Cause
new wave actually refers to the 80s.
that-
Retro wave refers
right.
to the current iteration.
True.
That's- yeah.
True. Daft Punk.
Duran,
Yeah,
that's
Daft
old
Punk
too.
kicked it all off too. Daft Punk and like Postal
Oh,
Service.
Yeah.
Daft
everything
Punk's
is owed
sick.
to them.
Daft Punk is sick.
Daft
It is
Punk's so
crazy
good.
how much.
But do you
Get
get
Lucky
a
is
little
awesome.
like the new Blink-182 album? Did you listen to it?
No.
Because it has
said-
a
he said
lot
the
of
retro.
synth pop vibes on that album. And a lot of people, I think, a lot of like punk, pop punk bands are kind of bringing that.
Yeah.
that sound into their new music when like,
Right.
they get like the All American Rejects, for example, could be considered like a pop punk synth band.
Who said New
Yeah.
Wave is,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess it goes back. Yeah, Aha would be like definitely the early version. of just-
Depeche Mode, yeah, Pet Shop Boys.
Well, I think the history, and I'm no musical historian, but like what happened was they invented synthesizers that had this sound that was good enough, but it was very uncanny to the ear. It didn't have the texture of real instruments. But in the 80s, they just ran with it, and they're like, you know what? Let's make the fakeness part of the sound.
You see those guys that put the tube in their mouth and play the piano like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then synths got better, and now you can't really tell a synth from something else. And then it became novel again to pick a bad sounding synth, knowing it sounded synthetic.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
like
Yes.
synth?
That's
So
what
what do
Tyler
you,
the Creator does sometimes.
Yeah.
what do you think
He'll
about
throw an ugly sound and make a fucking sick beat
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
what do you think about Kanye West? Because he's a synth guy.
Well, he teamed up with Bon Iver and Francis and the Lights, and I think that's where a lot of that crossover.
Heartbreak and 808 was
We
really
could be
very
like,
synth heavy.
Friends.
Friends is a great example, but yeah, that's that there was the weirdly Bon Iver, Kanye, and Francis, and then like what's his name? Not Tyler the Creator, Chance the Rapper.
Chance?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a convergence where
Ultralight
they
Beam.
all had this big cross pollination, and Bon Iver says Kanye like helped him become. There's a great video on YouTube where he talks about how Bon Iver is this very demure guy who wrote all of his music in a cabin alone in the woods in Wisconsin, and how he met Kanye. He was like, "Oh, sometimes you need to feed the ego, and like have delusions about yourself to make the best thing you can make."
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
like
wild
that.
that Kanye just said just the other day. He said that he is the closest thing to God on earth.
Then he's in
That's
like some
crazy.
KKK outfit.
It was
That's
black. It was all
crazy.
black. So
That's-
it was like Blake KK. You know what I mean?
That's just he's done.
He's
I had to
over,
take
man.
down. I used to have like Kanye autograph. I met Kanye 3 times. I used to have his autographs in my apartment.
You
like,
know, but I kind of
Took
feel
him-
bad
took
for
him
the
down
guy
a
because
long
something
time
happened.
ago.
Something happened there after his mom died.
but like you got
A
the
lot of
reason-
people's moms died.
Yeah, you got not
They don't
everyone goes.
turn anti-Semitic. My mom
Kanye-
died. I'm not anti-Semitic. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Kanye and Eminem are examples that mommy issues are much worse than daddy issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
you
and Kanye his mom raised him too well. It's one of the things like you want to make sure your kid is like has good self-esteem, but like way too far.
Yeah, a little
I love
too.
my mom, but I've never make a song for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey,
mama,
I would
hey,
make a song
mama.
for my
That's a
mom.
good
I'll
song.
make a song for my
Yeah,
mom.
I love my mom. I love my mom.
Early Kanye was so
Okay,
good.
love my mom.
I love my mom. Do you love your mom?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you love your mom?
I do love my mom.
We all love our
You want to
moms.
make a song for
I want to
your
make a
mom?
song for her.
Yeah.
Jesus, you
I would
make
make-
songs for all these comedians that come on the
Hey,
podcast.
mama.
You wanted to throw one in there about your mom?
Hey, mama, thanks for leaving me. You know, you left me and Stephanie. That's my sister's name.
Yeah, no.
You didn't stay around for graduation.
Did your mom not your mom wasn't in your life?
She left the country, but she didn't leave the nation. Wait, no, she left the state, but she didn't
Didn't
leave the
leave the
nation. She left. My dad was messing around with her, and she always said that I'm gonna leave someday, and then she did. And then I remember she was just like, I moved, and I was like, what?
And your dad raised you after
No,
that?
no, I was pretty much. I was 20 at the time.
Oh,
21.
okay.
But I think that's a weird. I think it's weirder if your parents get divorced in that time of your life
Yeah.
than if you're early time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like I knew my family was like, we're going to church and we're gonna do this and we're gonna love each other no matter what. And then like they're not together. I'm like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Then my dad
All
fell
your
apart. My
upbringing
dad
was a
did
lie.
crack. Like
Oh.
I didn't know that. My friend had to send me a picture of like the inmate inquiries.
Wait,
He
how
sent me
many
a picture.
times do you think your dad did crack?
A lot. Now looking back at it now, I know the times he did the crack, and I know the times we went to his friend's house where I hung out with the iguanas.
So your dad did crack while you were. Your dad did crack when you were in the other room.
Yeah.
You were in the other room. Your dad was doing crack.
I was in the room. I remember this guy's house. We went to it, and he had 3 iguanas living in the house. They were free range iguanas. They just lived wherever they wanted to live.
Matthew, this is Florida, by the way.
No figure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he would go and he'd be like, sit here, watch, and they put on Ren and Stimpy, which is not a fucking kid's show.
Not at all.
So I'm in there watching Ren and Stimpy, and iguanas are running around, and my dad's nowhere to be found, and I don't know. And then when we leave this place, it was like a crackhead gift shop because they gave me this Freddy Krueger doll, and I was like, I remember being like, I don't think a kid should have this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like 9. I shouldn't have a Freddy Krueger doll.
That's crazy.
Right.
You were 9. Your dad's doing crack. That's wild.
Oh, so he was doing crack before your mom left.
Yeah, I just didn't know. My mom didn't really tell me.
I thought you were gonna be like, I remember one time I went to Chuck E. Cheese and it was fucking. I got a trash bag full of tokens.
That's so interesting. So what are you gonna what are you gonna do?
I think my addiction is work.
Do
I think my dad had an addiction. I think my grandpa had an addiction too. It was alcoholism.
Yeah.
My dad's addiction was drugs from a young age. I've never done drugs. You make me smoke weed sometimes, but I think my addiction is work. I think I'm addicted to work.
It ends with us.
I wish I had a mental illness that made me more productive.
Yeah.
I have the kind that just makes me like sit around and
I feel like
hate myself.
Do you have OCD? Do you have OCD?
No, not at all.
Do you have ADD or anything?
Yeah.
Any ailments? Because I feel like you're like a really focused individual.
You do
I'm
seem
not.
very smart and like
Very like.
yeah.
I'm very unpunproductive. I have a lot of trouble
Really?
focusing.
Well,
And
you come
organizing
across
tasks.
as though you're always thinking.
you come across as put
That
together.
doesn't mean I'm doing things.
Because I think it's like you're in shape. You know,
That's compulsive behavior.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I feel like you write new jokes all the time.
I am not diligent about writing.
You're not.
No, I don't write
Oh.
every day. I've always tried to. It's always my goal, but I
Yeah.
don't sit and
Yeah.
write.
Yeah.
But luckily, ADD is the odd. It's a gift and a curse in comedy because the one of the troubling parts about ADD is when you talk to people, you sound like you're always changing the subject, but to you, the subjects seem related.
Yeah.
Things that seem disparate are very related to you because you go A, B, C, D, E, and then suddenly it looks like you're talking about something else.
That's this
And my
whole
fiance is like, why'd you
podcast,
change the
man.
subject? And I'm like, well, no, actually, if I draw the line for you, they're very connected. But
Yes.
it's very rudely, I don't make that connection for
Yeah.
people.
Right.
And often I'm changing the subject to myself. But in writing jokes, that is such a gift because like fucking 1/3 of all jokes are just comparing things in an
Yeah.
interesting way. Say this reminds me of this.
Yep.
Those don't seem the same. Let me show you why.
Yeah.
You could do a whole act of that. Right. There's so many good jokes are just that format.
Yep.
And ADD gives you a looser association with which to go out and search for those things and then bring them back and
Yeah.
tighten them. But ADD also makes you very unable to sit
Yeah.
down and focus on the task at hand.
I have a problem with like sarcasm. Like I'll try to be sarcastic, and in my mind, I'm like, that's fucking funny. But then people don't understand that I'm being sarcastic, and that's my fucking issue.
Jim Halpert syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, they thought I was serious. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Like you're too good of an actor.
Yeah. that or yeah.
I
maybe.
do that around my in-laws, and there's a slight language barrier because
What are they?
her mom is German and doesn't process sarcasm as readily as I sling it.
They don't. They
So
don't
you're like,
process it.
why would you say that? That's the opposite of what just happened.
My fiance's aunt's mother, German. She grew up in, Nazi sympathizer, right? Because that's what they were taught. They were taught this. They learned it. And I'm Polish. My last name is Bonilevich. Not Jewish, Polish. But every time I would go to that house and there was a family dinner, she'd look at me and give me the dirtiest looks. And then one day, her uncle goes, "She wishes you were in the oven right now." And she goes, and laughed and was like, "What the fuck is going on?" I'm like, I'm not even Jewish, but this is fucked. Like this is a fucked up
crazy.
thing. And then her daughter had to say, "I'm sorry, she's old. She's dead now." But yeah, she was in the oven. It was it was a very fucked up situation. That's
Whoa.
crazy. Like so, the fact that like people are
You didn't
still
laugh
there.
at that? You didn't laugh at that? When
I
that
kind
happened?
of I guess chuckled. It was new. It was.
Were you like, no, I'm Polish. I am so sorry.
No, I'm Polish, and they like same thing, same
Yeah.
shit.
It's not
Probably.
the same thing.
Same shit, dude.
That's crazy. So Matt, you've been doing comedy for as long as I've known you. My God, like
13 years?
13 years. You started in
14. No,
Did
13.
you start in Los Angeles?
No, Houston.
Houston. Then
But I moved to LA pretty early.
Okay. Did you have when you moved to LA? Was it just to do comedy? Did you have a job out there? You
I had a job and I lost it by the time I got there.
Was it a writing job?
No. I had a day job. I
day
worked in
sick.
finance. Yeah. and I lost my
You
job on the
did
way
not
there.
tell fucking the good looks and nice
Easy
hair,
job.
the body,
Teacher's hours,
finance.
teacher's salary. Yeah.
But finance is not easy. I could not sit down and do finance. I could not crunch numbers. I could not do that.
You did This Is Not Happening?
Spreadsheets.
You did This Is Not Happening. Did you
No.
not? No? Damn.
What?
Oh, you had a Comedy Central half hour.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha. That was on YouTube.
Yes.
They put that up.
They put it out later, yeah, when they realized that
Good
no
save,
one watches TV.
It was one of the two.
Yeah,
I remember they got the blue background on the
Yes,
thumbnail.
yeah, that was-
Yeah, that was
It's
awesome.
also
Before I got
about
into
getting
comedy,
fired.
that was all the shit that I was
Oh,
watching.
hell
was
yeah.
Comedy
Yeah.
Central, all that.
Isn't
all
that crazy
stuff.
that
Weird
like
time. A lot of people like watched those during that era. I think that was like this, like one of the last seasons of it. They maybe did like 2 or 3.
I
after
love
that.
those presents. I wish they still did those.
I really wish
when,
they
when
did
you
too.
got one of those half hours, like
It was
They
really
do the
cool.
little 5 minutes ones, and they do them over, but they only do them for social media now.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
over at.
I still do one of those.
What's the place you juggled at before?
Cutting room.
Cutting room. They do it
Yeah.
at cutting room.
Hey, you know what's so funny? So this is the studio, right? And we don't know a lot of people in this building, but this guy on the first floor, he's like, he lives right down the hall. He's like, hey, this is gonna sound weird, but do you juggle? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, I saw you a couple years ago. I was like, oh, that's crazy.
When you do the subway things now, are there ever people like, oh, I've seen this?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, okay.
It sucks because I have to cut that out. But yeah, like I did it 2 days ago. Some guy was like, I follow you. I'm like, I'm kind of doing it right now. So
Shut the fuck up. It's gotta be how the Impractical Jokers feel. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yo, what happened to them? What's going on with them right now?
They're getting
A
canceled
lot of
left and
touching,
right.
lot of touching
Okay,
inappropriately.
We
a lot
don't
of-
have to talk about it, but I was like,
We can talk about it. Why was it bad to talk about?
Yeah, what do you mean? I just confessed to saying the N word. I feel like anything's free game on this show.
Oh god.
No thing. If you ever said the M word, I'm like, yeah, I'm not a gold star white. What do you think this is?
You didn't see episode 12 of the Boyfriends podcast where I talk about it?
Matt just said confesses. He's like, we knew you said it.
My brother's like, I've never said. I'm like, what are you talking about? Culture has changed. We can admit that it was wrong to say it back then, but like it was a. I'm gonna step in it here, but like it was, when you're young and stupid, you see a rule and you're like, I must break it.
Yeah, of course.
No matter what it is,
Yeah.
it's like you just
You don't have
try to-
malicious intent. You know, you're
Yeah.
just young and dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Corey, thank you for doing that.
What
You're-
happened to and no one
brave.
else, everyone
You're so
else here is
brave.
like, yeah, you can.
I was like,
say
hey, listen, I'm gonna get us a good clip this fucking show.
what's going on with Impractical Jokers?
So there was a girl came out on TikTok and said she went to see like a Joe Gatto show. And they were messaging.
That's the first problem.
Him, I don't know. I know
Yeah,
Sal.
Sal's good.
Sal's
Sal's
the
putting in the
nicest
work,
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. And basically, I don't know, but she's saying there were like some things happened. And then he said, yeah, some things happened, but it wasn't sexual assault. And then he checked it. He canceled his tour, went to a treatment facility.
Treatment for what? Touching?
I don't know what you go to. I think it's, I don't know.
That's pretty much an admission of guilt. If you're like, I cancel my tour, I'm
Conversion
going to
therapy for pedophiles.
As someone who's touring pretty heavily right now, something that happened to be like, yeah, I'll go get help. And I'm like, I needed an excuse to take a break.
Yeah,
God, I'm
that's true,
so
that's true,
tired.
that's true.
I need a nap.
And then something else happened with like one of the other Murr, the other guy. I think
Yeah,
someone
Murr.
came out and said, but I don't know if there's any truth to it.
What if they were just like, we were joking? It was
It
part of the bit.
this whole thing's just a long,
Just kidding.
a long punishment.
Oh shit, that'd be
joshing.
crazy.
It is interesting when you see these accusations. There's, as a man, my first thought is, well, who hasn't done blah, blah, blah. And then some of these you read the accusations, you're like, oh my god, why didn't they put that in the title? That is so horrible. Like it's weird how they almost like soft pitch the accusation, and then when you read it, you're like,
Holy shit.
yeah, that's a monster. That's a
Comedian
horrible.
hugs.
And that's not Joe. I'm not talking about Joe because I haven't read about Joe.
Yeah.
Who was one of the ones where, or I mean, like they just go domestic abuse allegations against Jonathan Majors. I'm like, oh, that sucks. I'm sad. And then you
beat the
read like
shit out
the
of him.
dialogue around
Yeah.
it. He's like, I'm a messiah while choking her. You're like, oh god.
Yeah, that's
It's usually
before
whenever there's smoke, there's fire kind of thing is what I've learned a little bit more with the.
Before the Sierra thing came out, we didn't know how bad Diddy fucking beat her up, and then we saw it. We're like, "Yo, what the fuck? He fucking ripped. That looked like Paranormal Activity type shit." But
I
like,
guess it's the journalists don't
Was
want
that
to
in the hotel?
editorialize, but it's like if you're not editorializing on it, like you're not reporting it properly.
Yeah.
but it's like the headline would be like, "Comedian hugs underage girl for too long." And you're like, he didn't.
Right,
really.
or like
but then it's like
Aziz.
he put her finger in her butt, and then I was like,
Yeah.
why didn't you say that in the beginning?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Let us know that up front.
right.
The Aziz thing was one of the few ones where you're like, and you read it, you're like, wait, is that?
Yeah.
Is there not more? Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
such
yeah.
a weirdly.
And he's such a soft-spoken guy. Like I don't know how he's around his friends, but when I met him, we didn't know each other. He was at the gym, and he was very like, hey, like just
Aziz?
very quiet.
Yeah.
I didn't know because a lot of times when you meet these comedians you see on television you never met before, you're like, oh, you expect a certain something out of them.
Yeah.
But then you meet them and they're kind of like shelled off, and they're like, it's funny.
Yeah,
It's funny.
yeah. Yeah, it's a good group we got in New York. I think like the New York comedy scene is thriving.
Yeah.
And I think
too many people moving here.
You think so?
Yeah, all the LA comics are, I'm gonna move to New York for more stage time. I'm like, yeah, 4 years ago.
But you and Laura, you and your fiance Laura, who's a great comedian, Laura Solgar, you have a
So
place.
she did a show with us one time at the
Great America Mall
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Maddie.
Yep.
You guys have a place in Austin. You guys are kind of spending some time there.
Less. We just end up renting it out.
Oh, you did?
We go there a bit, but we bought it hoping to like maybe split our time there and like maybe kind of relocate there as we potentially start a family. But now that is not a good place to be pregnant.
Oh, Austin?
Texas.
Texas, of course.
Texas is very,
if anything goes wrong,
Yeah,
like there's
you're
a serious risk of her,
Interesting.
like a doctor being like, I can't save her life without.
One of the reasons why me and my
being charged
fiance
with
don't
murders.
live in Louisiana is for that,
Yeah.
for those purposes, just everything seems backwards. Everything seems back in the day.
Why Louisiana?
My fiance's from New Orleans.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I lived there for 4 years. I did radio in New Orleans.
Oh.
Yeah. And so we moved back after the pandemic because we wanted more space.
Mm-hmm.
So we got this big ass, nice ass house, and we're there for 3 months. And I looked at her and I was like, "This is over. I'm
Yeah.
not staying." Like every school was segregated. Everything was back. Everyone like it's back in the times type shit. People were getting shot on our block, but we lived next to fucking Drew Brees, lived down the street. You know what I mean? So it was like we had to leave. So we were there for 3 months, sold the house in a month and a half, and came back to New York.
Yeah.
We've been here ever since.
There was a map of highest murder rates in this hemisphere or quadrosphere, and it was like all these like cartel cities in Mexico, and just New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
New
Like
Orleans was the
seventh
murder-
place.
Yes, New Orleans was the murder capital. New Orleans
Holy
was way more
shit.
dangerous than El Salvador, which was like a fucking
How long ago was this?
2 years ago.
What was this on the news?
In New Orleans, maybe they don't talk about this shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They don't tell you about the important
No,
things.
Fox News is too busy talking about New York City and
Yeah,
Chicago.
and how
crime rates.
dangerous Mexico is when
Oh,
fucking
right.
New Orleans is way more dangerous.
totally. That's crazy.
Don't you? I love how they portray that shit. Like Chicago's the most dangerous thing, but if you look at per capita, no, the fuck it's not. It's not even on the list of most dangerous places in the U.S. per capita.
Really?
Yes. But obviously they have more murders because they have more people.
Yeah,
right?
this needs a good publicist, I think, Chicago. Rebrand a
You
bit.
mean, you mean
trying.
Mayor Lightfoot? What's her
No one's
name? Mayor
trying to help
Littlefoot? Lightfoot?
Oh, yeah.
Sweatyfoot? What's her name?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know the mayor.
Yeah,
I don't
Mayor
know.
Lightfoot.
But the reason I was asking you about Austin is because you're like a lot of LA comics moving to New York, but Austin's trying to be like a scene. Do you think that's
I think he's
competing
done a
with
good
New
job.
York?
Yeah.
I'm rooting. No, nothing competes with New York.
Yeah, that's right,
No,
baby.
there's just not the stage time. It's not the same.
Yeah.
There is some real talent brewing there, and there is a lot of stage time, and you could potentially live there and get a good number of spots per week. But New York is just
Different ballgame.
Inundation. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing like that was
New York different.
I'll talk that shit. I went to London. And
I'll
we were
talk
doing
that
spots
shit.
there,
That
and we were
should
talking
be
to
a
the comics
thing.
there. Good comics there, lots of shows there. But like by the end of the trip, I'm like, London doesn't rank against New York. It's like above Chicago, but it's not where New York is in terms of like the amount of shows. Also, there's like no shows after 10 p.m. in London.
Oh,
There's nothing
really?
going on.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I feel like
Is there like
I
no
feel like
nightlife there? There's no nightlife?
No, everything closes early. It's
I
a
feel like
sleepy
to work
town.
harder here too for laughs. You have to. This is like
Yeah.
a fucking. You're going
It's
up.
hard.
You're going up against pros here.
Yeah.
And if you're not busting your ass and writing good shit, you're just gonna fucking feel like shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I also like the fact that you go up here, then you go around the country, and you're like, oh, this is fucking cake. Anywhere else you go, you're like, I can
Yeah.
take this. I can take it
Yeah.
easy.
Which is why it's important to live here.
Yeah.
That was
No
that
shit.
feeling when you go to other cities and you're like, oh wow, I wrote all this new material, I'm doing so well, and you're like, you come back to New York City, you're like, oh no, I just had like, I had the bumpers.
at the
Yeah.
bumpers.
You released
Easy
your new
game.
special a few weeks ago, or maybe a few months ago now.
We could say weeks if it.
Weeks.
more.
It's a great special.
It's coming out right now. Actually, when you open the link, that's when
Oh, sorry. Maybe I should, it's a
It's
great
waiting for
special.
you.
It's a great special. You put on YouTube. Did you shop it
I
around?
think my manager pitched it to people, but I knew I wasn't getting. an offer.
You knew you were gonna put it on YouTube.
Yeah, I wanted to put it on YouTube.
that's- I
I
think that's
didn't
great.
want to face the rejection that I knew I was going to get anyway.
But I think a YouTube special is great because it's yours. You own it. You can, right?
Yeah, the clips are great. The
Yeah.
fact that I can just
Pull it
pull
out.
as many clips as I want out of it,
Right.
Yeah.
and repost it all the different ways I want to. And
No,
I think Scholes did a good thing when he pulled his special from Netflix because Netflix tried to do a lot of things to take a lot of creative, shit away from him.
Yeah.
He pulled it from Netflix, and he did his own special on his own website.
Yeah.
I think that like solidified things. I'm not saying he's the pioneer for that. Obviously, people have been doing that forever. But I think it was good that happened.
Yeah.
Because now people aren't afraid to go that route. You know.
I think more people should be a little afraid.
Yeah. You think so?
People are like, no, people are like, oh, I'm putting out my hour. I'm like, how many times have you done that hour as an hour?
3 times.
Is the answer hundreds?
Yeah.
Then maybe polish it out, because you wouldn't build a spaceship in
that's
7
true.
different
That's
cities
true.
and then assemble it at the launch pad and
That's
hope
true.
it goes into
That's
space.
They get trigger happy because it's so easy to do.
So
All you
easy,
have to
but
do is
like-
fucking click upload and it's there.
I think people right now should be spending a little more time on specials. I think people have this delusion that a year is some reasonable time frame. Like, if you're doing your hour
Continuously,
6 times a week
Yeah.
for a whole year,
Yeah.
and you've been doing it for 10 years already, maybe you could write an hour in a year. People be like, Joe List can do that, Louis can do that, but even Burr takes 18 months.
Yeah.
And all he does is tour. He doesn't have like
Yeah.
a fucking TV show.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait at least 10 years before I put out anything. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, from when I started doing stand up, so I got a couple years left. But I think
A lot of people start at 10, and then you have it's the acceleration rate, but. Or put out something short. Put out 10 minutes. If it's a really polished 10 minutes.
I've done that, yeah.
But I think putting it all together, there's more to it, and it's also like really interesting to have an arc to it, something more of a through line. I did much of that.
I love that.
Tie it all in.
I love a little theatrical, a little one man show ish.
Like Edelman did have like it all one story. Yeah.
Joe, you know what he
Dude,
did? You know what
love
he did?
that.
You know
I
what
love
he
it. I
fucking
talk about
did
that all
at
the
our
time. Hour and a
show
half.
in Missouri?
Oh,
He fucking came on stage. We did a theater in Missouri. He came on stage, took a fucking ladder from the back of this theater. He was like, yo, you think I can use this? And I was like, I don't fucking know, Marcus. He took
like an
this
8 foot-
big ass fucking ladder,
step
and
ladder.
he put it on his fucking nose, and he's fucking, before he's bringing me out, right? He's like, I'm about to bring you out, but I'm gonna put this ladder on my face first. He fucking balanced it on his face. This was a heavy ladder.
It was heavy.
And it worked. And then he goes, hey, here's Corey. And I was like, fuck you, man. You can't put a fucking ladder on your face and then call me out.
It's good,
And
good,
then I'm
good,
standing there. I'm
excited.
like, make some noise for Marcus. And here goes Marcus with the ladder across the fucking stage again. I'm like,
He's walking with it on his head.
No, just like a fucking construction guy. He just went from this side to this side. I'm like, you fucking piece of
Oh my
shit.
god!
I was trying. We did this theater before at PAC. They had us have an intermission for whatever
So people
reason.
buy
They had
drinks-
to
'cause they
do
wanted
people buy
some-
drinks and
some
stuff.
drinks, 'cause they're used
so
to that.
I was like, I need to start, and I went first. So I did my hour. Then Corey and I had to bring him on. And I wanted to do something to like reset the show, and I wanted to get them all excited
That's what
again.
he did. He fucking put a whole ladder.
It's not gonna
on his
happen
face.
all the time. I was like, I saw a ladder.
No, I enjoyed it because I was like, there's no way because it was a heavy ladder.
Can we tell you this too?
Yeah.
We shouldn't say his name, but there was a guy that worked at this venue, and we were talking about like edibles, and I had a bag of 100 milligram
THC?
Yes, cones.
THC cones with like little ice cream
100.
cones.
Whoa.
And I'm like, I ate like half of one. And I asked the guy if he wanted one. He's like, yeah.
This guy's running everything. The
He's
sound,
running
the lights,
the entire
everything.
show. And then I gave him one. He ate it. And no, by the way, it was Delta 8. So it was like federally legal. So he's not like doing illegal narcotics during work. But it still will mess up.
I don't think he realized what he was doing. I think he was trying to be cool. I think it was
Yeah.
like one of those things where he's like, oh, the comics want me to do this.
Yeah.
Because we were the first comedians to do
Yep.
that venue.
Yep.
And he was excited and he did it and he fucking regretted it.
Yeah, he
He came up to us and he was
on
like
the moon.
sweating. He's like, I'm so paranoid right now. I'm so nervous. And I'm like, you think it was the drugs? And he goes, yeah, absolutely.
We took a quantity that would be better measured in grams than milligrams.
And now we got 500. He's in charge of. There's 500 people in the audience. Like he's got to play our walk-on tracks. He
he's
messed up
fucking everything
he messed
up.
Everything.
Everything was
He's supposed to
fucked up.
record the show. He didn't record the show. It was so funny.
That's your fault.
My bad.
I bet he really enjoyed watching it though.
Oh, he had a blast.
Yeah, he had a good time. Well, you know what we did too? He priced our tickets comparable to what Bert Kreischer sells his tickets at.
Jesus.
And I looked at him. I saw we're selling. I'm like, yo, I sell great in this. I sell great. Why is it so hard to sell here? And I'm looking at the ticket prices and I'm like, $120 for 120. What the fuck? I was like, what are you doing?
But we sold 100.
He sold 20 tickets. It's the most money I've ever made for a show.
So we sold 300. We sold 300 tickets, and I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna do this theater if it's not fucking packed.
Yeah.
I was like, how many comps do we have? And he's like, as many as you want. And I was like, all right. So I went, I did an ad on Facebook and Instagram, and I was like, I have 20 free tickets to give away right now.
Yeah.
We actually gave away 200 free tickets.
We did.
And we
Holy
fucking packed that place out.
It was
But we
so
still probably
fun.
made more money.
Oh, we made so much
because
money
of the
yeah.
$100 tickets that people bought.
Yeah, it was great. It was just like
Dude, that's
even.
nuts.
He was like, yeah, well,
the differential in expectations between adjacent people there.
Yes.
And one person paid nothing and the other person paid 150.
That's what he was worried about too, and I was like, "Don't say anything. Don't fucking say it."
And I mean, they really priced it bad. I mean,
Well, that's what I
$100.
said. I said, why'd you make it so expensive? I was like, usually the shows for VIP, 35, 48 tops for the VIP tickets. $20 for general admission. And he goes, "Oh, well, I was just at a Bert Kreischer show, and it was this and that." I was like,
Okay.
"Who the fuck? Do we have specials on Netflix and a fucking like?"
Yeah, do you hire a team
You
of
can't-
people who are constantly promoting you on 5 different social media channels at all time
funny.
and make a salaried living just for that?
Yeah.
Fuck.
But you've done shows with Bert. How are those? How is it like?
It's like a comedy show mixed with a sporting event mixed with a political rally. The energy in the room is so big. Not about his act, just about the way people scream when he gets on stage.
Yeah.
Are you able to do your jokes though, or is it is it hard?
It's good. It's just like
Your pacing's different.
They're ready for
pacing's
him.
very different, and if the screens are there, it's great.
Okay.
It's hard to like break open the show because you have to just walk out there and like acknowledge where you are, but that's different every night.
Yeah.
But when it gets like it's 10 or 15 minutes, and if you get that momentum by the end of the set, it's like
Love that.
a very large moving object.
That's great.
Yeah, it's just a lot of inertia.
Do you get nervous when you do the big arenas?
Oh yeah, especially when I'm opening the show. That makes
Is
me
it a
nervous.
stadium or is it an arena?
Arena.
That's crazy.
That's
So
gotta
I
be
think
that's gotta
12
be
or
terrifying
13K
because it's
was
not
the
your
biggest one we did
crowd,
with
you
him.
know.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, but
and it's weighing on you. You're
They're
like,
not
fuck.
they're not gonna hate me,
No,
but it's also not
obviously.
gonna be a perfect connect.
Yeah.
You know what you're
I do.
doing. You know you're a pro at this. You've done your 10,000 hours, but it's like a lot's weighing on you to do this shit. You know.
The screens are the coolest part because there are these giant screens he now brings with him to every show. And
Do you ever
they're
look at yourself?
Yeah, it's like whatever 30 feet tall, and when those are, it's the energy of the biggest room you've ever done, but the intimacy of a very small room because the smallest facial gesture
They can
picks
see it,
up,
yeah.
so you can get a laugh,
so
and then you
good.
could use the face to get like
Yeah.
10 more
Oh,
seconds of
yeah,
laughter
yeah.
if you
What?
want.
You can Shane
It's
Gillis it?
really neat.
Oh shit.
Yeah. You can.
Well, if you
Jimmy
think about
Carr
it, in a special, when we watch a special, we're seeing them, you know.
So that's cool. That makes it such a fun experience when those
so
screens are there.
dope.
Yeah. Versus we've had rooms where it's like a couple thousand people, and we used to do no screens, and I was like, this is hard.
Yeah.
They don't even know what my face. They don't know what color my eyes are.
Yeah. Who was just with him? Who we have? Oh, Pete Lee was just with Bert.
Yeah.
Pete Lee was well.
Pete
Yeah.
Lee.
I did some together. He does very well.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got that energy too. And
He did one of the nights he was talking and he said something. I'm like, that's a good. You should do that as a bit. He was like, really? And the next night he was doing it on stage in front of 10,000 people, and it was just polished. I was like, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
You know what? I have to
Yeah.
test a joke to try it in front of 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I feel like we've been doing that a lot lately
yeah,
too.
we've
'cause-
been doing that a little bit, but I mean,
trying
it's
not to do
not.
shit the
We're
day
not
of.
in arenas doing
No,
it, so
no,
the
it's,
stakes
yeah,
are
it's
lower.
the fucking desert ridge
Yeah.
improv, but
Yeah.
it's still fun to do. It's like
the best.
like you don't know how it's gonna go, but at the same time you're like, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
The
So
best
it's- yeah.
feeling when a new joke works. It's so
sick.
good.
There's nothing bad. I had a set the other like an hour where the crowd sucked and we all hated them. But I tried some new stuff in the middle and one new joke worked, and that was
all you
all
need.
I felt
Yeah.
leaving
It's all
the
you
stage.
need.
Like, hell yeah.
Yeah, that
because you
one
knew the
new
other
bit.
shit worked. You've done it before. But
Yeah.
the new joke solidified like the feel. Yeah, hell yeah.
Are we doing mystery box?
Yeah.
I think we only
I
have.
don't know if we have time for the mystery. We
Okay,
don't
okay.
have time for the mystery
Right,
box.
No,
right,
we
right.
do have time for the mystery box.
We
Come on,
don't.
hurry up,
We
let's
don't.
do
No,
it.
we really don't.
No, we have a mystery box right here. It's gonna take me 3 minutes to open this up.
Oh, how
This
much
is a
money
mystery
do you
box.
spend on
I
this?
paid $200
Marcus?
for this mystery box.
Oh,
Now
Corey
you can
spent
pay me
$200
$200 and I'll give it to you, or you could just let me have it.
I'm not
It's a-
going to take that financial risk.
You have disposable income.
But
Why
you,
not?
it could. You have disposable.
Yeah. You went to a fucking an electro pop
You went
thing.
to a synth pop festival.
So I will.
I have
say-
disposable income
We've-
because I don't make rash decisions
But
financially.
let me tell you this,
like
Matt.
spending $200
Yeah,
on
wait,
who knows
we,
what.
We
Exact-
bought
dude,
one of
yes.
these mystery boxes off eBay.
I'm not a fan of this
when,
concept.
When Mark Norman was here, I got AirPod Pro. It was $140. I
New
got
ones.
AirPod Pros,
Real.
a tablet, a keyboard, a case for the tablet, and some like Lightning C cords. And then when Pete
Holy
Lee was
shit.
here, he bought
Bunch
our
of kid
Amazon
shit.
mystery box. He got a bunch of stuff. What did we get now?
I got a drone.
A drone.
You missed out, Matthew Broussard.
Whoa.
I got a drone.
Those come in varying quality.
Desk lamp.
Desk
Don't need
lamp.
that.
Oh,
Pretty
the
cool.
sand one. That's sick.
Sand-
He needed eye mask, Matthew Broussard. You missed
I already
out.
have an eye mask I like.
No, he's just he's
I
nagging
thus far
everything.
regret nothing.
Just contrarian.
What else you got? What else you
What
got?
is this?
Ultra strong, ultra high speed. Can you open that for me? I don't know what it is. Jewelry for your wife or your fiance or your wife.
It's a watch band.
It's a watch band.
These are some C cords.
Oh, Galaxy Plus case.
Yeah.
Yo, this is nuts.
What a waste of
You can only use
$200.
half this shit.
Yo,
what the
you don't.
fuck?
What's this one?
I don't know, dude, but this
Wait,
was
wait,
That
250.
sweater looked pretty fly.
This was 250. Oh, look what you could have had, Matt. For
Honestly,
slatware.
not bad.
Knives and forks.
What is this?
Oh shit, 4.
Black M. Oh, a t-shirt probably.
Is it a t-shirt?
Oh, you're really gonna be mad now. You could have had fucking this,
Syrup dispenser.
Rest. Oh.
and it has birds on it.
Oh, it's a birdhouse.
Whoa, look at this. Oh, it's a
Oh,
dress.
you could have got a dress, you
You got a
idiot.
dress, man.
You idiot.
Cool sweater,
Jesus.
dude.
That's
what are
a
you
nice-
thinking,
While we're
bro?
still
What else we
doing
got?
this,
Oh, Kindle.
A Kindle
I
for
got a
real?
Kindle.
it's like a
You like
7-year-old
That's
on
useful.
fucking Christmas, dude.
Yo,
like
this
to
is
read?
crazy.
Yeah.
Kindle would change things for
This
me.
is a
While
Kindle.
that's sick. This actually
Magnetic
is pretty
building.
sick.
Oh, I
While
love that.
we're
Oh, I
doing
like
this,
that.
Matthew, you can plug whatever's coming out. whatever you have coming out.
Hyperbolic. It was my special on YouTube. Check out my special on YouTube. Hyperbolic.
Sick.
Hyperbolic's one of the
on
chambers that
YouTube.
you go into.
Are you?
right?
Do you have any
It is.
dates
Or
coming up?
hyperbaric.
Here,
Yeah, a
open this.
bunch. I'm everywhere.
Go
Truly
see
everywhere.
Matthew on the
Check my
road.
calendar. Broussard.live.
A fucking vegetable shredder?
Oh, I like that.
Cheers, Matt.
There you go. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Matthew Broussard, everybody. Check out.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week. Buffalo Helium, April 16th. Please check me out. That's all I got.
Please buy
That was a hard room to fill.
Marcus
so
Monroe,
please
Corey
check that out.
Mello,
Lot of
Matthew
money on
Broussard. We're on the internet. Thanks for watching. New episodes every Monday. And don't forget, the shop is open. You can get your own boyfriend merch. Thank you.
I said a lot of regrettable
Goodbye.
things.